I'm fishing today with Gary Newman, who's one of the country's leading big fish men and lead columnist for Angler's Mail on big fish. But today I'm dragging him down to my level, and he's fun fishing for tench and roach, late season tench on fairly light stuff, and we're hoping to bag up. They're a bit finicky at the moment, getting tentative little bites, but we've seen a few bubbles out in our swim where we put some ground bait in, and we're hoping to catch a few more. They're very hard fighting fish, and we're on like 4-pound line and small hooks, fishing little bits of corn or corn and maggot, and trying to avoid the roach, but catching 1 or 2 tench.
There's one fizzing up in your swim now, Peter. Not there?
As long as it's fizzing up in my swim, I'm happy. Actually, you've got 1 or 2 bubbles near yours.
Yeah,
but,
just next.
they're not like high summer bubbles.
No, they're not feeding as hard as they do then, but they're. No, it's going a little bit better now. In front of you there. That's something definitely having a go.
The lake we're fishing is an old estate lake, very black, silty bottom, a lot of debris on the bottom, so we're using a dark ground bait mix so that it's not obtrusive. Just a few bits of sweet corn and maggot in there. The tench aren't big in these old estate lakes. If you got one 6-pound, you'd be lucky, but they're very entertaining, and because you're catching roach and rudd along with them, it's a very pleasant way to fish. These landing stages are very comfortable platforms to fish off, but you've got to be ultra careful moving around on them because they do transmit all the vibrations and every bit of noise straight out into your swim. This lake is 14 acres, and the wind's drifting in from the western end, so there's quite a lot of tow, but in spite of not having any shot resting on the bottom, we're holding position quite nicely because we've got long floats and we're taking the trouble to bury that line completely. But I might just bring this one in very gently. No, I had other ideas.
That's another lively one.
Ooh, can I get its head up? Give it a dose of air.
Excellent. It swam straight in there then.
I scoop that up like Will Raisin scoops up carp. You see that nice little red eye of theirs? I'm fishing a size 10 wide gape. That's one of those. I'm putting 2 big pieces of sweet corn on there so that it's nice and showy. It's very dirty and silty down there on the bottom of this old lake, and that's a good visual bait. And because it's right on depth, it's not going to get stuck in the silt, and hopefully the tench can find it that much easier.
Oh, there we go.
That's got to be a tench.
Is he a male? I think he is.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks like a small male. Certainly fighting
They fight
that one.
different, don't they?
Yeah.
They're
But
more jagged.
Normally
and,
they jag around. I mean, normally when they come up and get that gulp on the surface, they give up a bit more. Okay. Nice little male tench.
lovely.
Big pelvics on him.
One of the problems with tench is tench slime. It festoons the line, great globular deposits, and you need to clean it off and get the line down to its fine, invisible state before attempting to catch the next fish. I'm not saying that you wouldn't catch fish with all that festooned along it, but it doesn't look right to me, and I like to have the monofilament all cleaned down. The wind changed to the north, and I was casting for a westerly, so I ended up a yard too far to the wrong side. Go.
It likes switching just as you cast as well, doesn't it?
Fishing long, slim peacock wagglers with a body right at the bottom. I just got a bit of tip showing. Oh, that's a good indication. The fluorescent tip lifted, the white band underneath came up and was very showy, and now it's settled back down to its normal level again. There's a few bubbles between the float and the rod, so I can always pull the float back in towards me a little bit, right into the area where the fish is feeding. And float's going under, come back up. On any other species that would be big enough bite to hit, but on tench they really can fiddle about with it for a long time. And on a water like this, an old estate lake which is very little fished, they're not shy, but you can wait a very long time for the bite to develop properly. You'll miss far more fish by striking early than you will by waiting for it to fully develop. These floats are incredibly sensitive. They're about 14 inches long, much too long for anybody to buy them in tackle shops. We can't sell long floats like this, but the length of a waggler makes an awful lot of difference to its stability. So you've got a big wind drift on this lake. We're at the bottom end of 14 acres of water, and we're not anchoring on the bottom with any shot, and yet that's staying very stable. It's not drifting down lake at all. If it does drift, what inevitably happens if your bait is on or near the bottom is that it will drift into the nearest bit of debris and get stuck there. I'm just going to tweak that float in towards me slightly. Now, having said that, I got another indication, so I'll leave it where it is. Right. And that's a tench. Right.
So, yeah, well, we have. Yeah, you're right. That's more than I thought. Oh, yeah. Yeah, good. Up to probably about 4.5 poundish, 4.5 pound. Oh, I think you got a few more there.
Yep, drop the tip very slightly, that's perfect.
Absolutely spot on.
Okay,
Yep.
can I put them back?